Okay, let's get right into it. Keep it short. Okay, so the let's start with the difference between me and my broski. Okay, my broski is incredibly, and I looked this up. The word that best describes it is shrewd, and I've heard it before, like business shrewdness, or that person is very shrewd in business, right? And it also means like astute or quick on his feet, or just a good hustle, right? That's what he is. Me, I'm not good at my feet at all, right? I'm not saying I'm a complete idiot, but you put me on the spot and I'm lost, right? I don't work that way. I may eventually figure it out, but I definitely need time. So my broski on the spot is definitely out of 10, 7, 8, maybe even 9. Me on the spot, I'm like a 3, hopefully not a, or 4, hopefully not a 3, maybe even a 5. With time, maybe I can bump that up to a 6, but definitely no more than that. So I got the talking points here. And it's important. I'm not saying I'm so bad at business that I would give away stuff for free and go out of business. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not that bad. And I'm not saying he's way to the other end to where he would squeeze the last penny out of this poor grandma. No, that's not it either, right? We land somewhere in between. Like squeezing the last bit out of every grandma would probably be a 20 out of 10, right? Like just bad, like, oh my God, dude, like just bad, right? So 20 out of 10, like, that's exaggerated. Again, my broski is still very moral when it comes to business. But again, fucking make it happen, right? Me, I'm not totally lost, but it definitely not as good on my feet. Okay? So how does that translate into everything? So for example, my brain defaults just to the price that's been set on a service or product, right? My broski, he can recognize very easily on the spot when a service or product is worth more, but still totally fair. When is a good example? So for example, today, right? It's raining or snowing, right? So services go up, right? So maybe the price to go out and do something today or normally is X amount of money. Maybe today it's 50% more, or maybe even 100% more, double, because of the circumstance. A holiday, that may also be the time, right? When it comes to selling stuff, if the customer buying whatever you're selling is the end user, well, there's a fair market price to that, right? But if the customer is not the end user and is planning to resell that,
to turn around and make money,
to turn around and make money as well, then to him, fair market value might be a little higher, right? And he also may be willing to pay more. So I don't recognize that on the spot. Maybe if my brother tells me, hey dude, you missed out on that opportunity, then maybe next time when the exact same thing presents itself, I might recognize it. But I'm really bad at naturally recognizing that. Versus my broski, he'll see that every day and he'll do it on the spot, So that's the big difference. This next example is a little different, but it still kind of highlights some key points. So for example, with this RP construction project, I'm doing a lot for this guy for free again. And I recognize that if this goes great, this guy's business is hopefully going to improve, right? And at that point, I might be like, hey man, throw me a bone. And I'm not I'm not saying which one this guy's gonna do. Like I said, I like this guy. We both like this guy,
Yeah,
so
we
we don't know. This is just an example, right? He may say, no, you said this was all for free and this and that, and then I'm gonna say, oh well, okay, well it was great working with you, man, but unfortunately, you know, like we're gonna have to. Oh, okay, great. Well, you do that. All right, cool. Now he may also say, yeah, man, absolutely. Here's, you know, how much you want. What do you think is fair, right? But anyways, let's say that for this example, he says nope, and we part ways. Which is the more likely outcome, right? But anyways, to me, that's acceptable, right? To my broski, that is totally unacceptable because now I have put in effort and time and work towards something that's going to make someone else money, and I'm going to be the loser that literally walked away with nothing. The only thing I could walk away with in that scenario is a little bit of knowledge, right?
Right. Which is the game that you were explaining, that you're willing to do an 80-20. You're willing to put in 80% of work, time, effort, with the possibility of getting 20% out of it.
No. 20% success, right? So what I meant by that is in my mind, I don't know the exact thing, but in my mind, there's 80% chance that this RP construction project cannot lead to anything fruitful, right? So all of this effort is an 80% chance that down the drain, right? But there's still that 20% that this might turn into a great long-term relationship and future business partnership, venture, whatever you want to call it, right? There's a much smaller chance all of this effort, all of this me working for free can turn into that, right? I'm willing to take a huge L for that smaller chance of this turning into something, right? If in fact I take a big L and lose a shit ton of time and effort, I don't give a fuck, right? Because I mean I just don't. Like I see give me the example. You know, earlier you said that you know, if this whole thing succeeds, he can go from making $1,000 a week to $10,000 a week, and I'm not going to get any of that, right?
Right, and you're willing to play that ball.
I'm willing to play that ball, and once you say it like that, I'm like, oh man, that hurts. Like that would suck. Like seeing someone else go from making 1,000 to 10,000 with your work. Oh my God, that would suck. But that's on them. Like in my mind, sure, I lost some time and effort, but in the end, bro, I think they're the loser because sure, they've won in the short term.
They're not really. Yeah.
They're the winner. They're the winner in the short term because they increased their business off of my efforts. But in the end, somebody that would do that, they've lost.
But you put yourself on that spot. You put yourself there knowingly, and that's something I'm not willing to do. That's a ballgame I don't play.
Right. And then I don't know. Like we can go on and on forever. I don't know why that's not a red flag in my mind. I see it would be bad. I'm like, damn, that would suck, right? But subconsciously, I'm still saying, fuck it, send it. Like the fact that you brought that up, and the fact that I know that that's a very possible outcome of this whole project, still doesn't make me change my mind. Like I'm still gonna be working on it. Fuck it. If it turns into, like, we can make a video next year saying, well, it happened, I'm out, whatever, you know. But anywho, moving on. So those are the differences, right? Okay. Same thing for, and I got some talking points I said we would prepare, just disclosure. This conversation isn't scripted, but we have talking points. And a similar thing with this whole Instagram project, but a key difference that he brought up, right? I could do this project for 35 years and absolutely nothing can come from it. But again, I'm willing to invest all that effort of making these videos, posting them. Again, there's 90% chance that this project goes nowhere, versus either in the typical metrics of subscribers, likes, so on and so forth, that I don't care about, or not a lot, but and more importantly, this project can be a huge L as far as nothing came out of it. You documented this thing for 35 years or X amount of time, and nothing came out of it other than now you have a bunch of memories for your personal self, which is still totally worth it in my mind. But from a business perspective, if nothing comes out of this, it's still a big L business-wise, right? I'm willing to take that chance. Now, your opinion is a bit different on that because this project isn't making anybody else any money, right?
Right. You're not making any money to anybody. You're just doing it basically for yourself. Right off the bat, you're like, I'm doing it for myself, for 70-year-old Pepe, which is fine.
107-year-old Pepe.
107-year-old Pepe, which is fine. But again, you're not making any money to anybody. You're just doing it for your own self. And that's why even Instagram, when you become good, if this takes off and you become good, Instagram starts paying you. So now you don't leave Instagram world and you're still making all these videos.
Well, I don't know if Instagram paid. I don't know. That's a whole other video. But
yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like, if you want to do that, hey, do it for the rest of your life. You're not making any money to anybody. You're just doing it for yourself. In this other scenario, again, you're making this can turn to being one job a week, $1,000, to being 10 jobs a week, $10,000
for RP construction.
For RP construction, and you're left off with nothing.
Right. That's if I'm good enough to make that happen. What do you need? Your glasses? That's if I'm good enough to make that happen. But anyways, those are kind of the two examples that best highlight the differences, right? So now let's get to the point. Let's get to the point, right? I want to make it very clear for future Pepe, whether it's 32-year-old Pepe or 107-year-old Pepe, that the 27-year-old, that me right now, agrees with everything he is saying, and I acknowledge that my lack of hustle or my lack of shrewdness on the spot is a negative. I mean, it's a negative. It's a huge area of improvement for me. But I'm swimming upstream because I don't like it. It doesn't come natural to me. So, I'm lazy about it, and I'm just going upstream. Like, I'm gonna do my best to improve, because I recognize that that's a skill that we can all improve, that I need to improve, and we all have skills that we can improve, but slowly but surely. On that note, we all have, kind of aside, we all have areas that we can improve. And I have things that I'm good at, he has things that he's good at, and vice versa. I have things that I'm not good at, he has things that he's not good at. In our case, me and my broski, they're totally different, right? We both excel and fall behind in completely different areas, which is why we probably work well so good together. But anywho, so here's what I want on the record. And you know what? Let me make a different video because it's already at 14 minutes. Okay, so what I want on the record is that I honestly don't think 27-year-old Pepe right now does not think that in the end over 80 years of progress, it's going to make that much difference. Surely it will make a difference. So I guess what I'm saying is that I don't think that the delta, that the change between being able to think on your feet and recognizing that added value, right, that you can gain from a product or service, that added revenue, is going to make that much of a difference. Of course, it'll make a difference, right? Because he can make more money for the same thing than I can if he recognizes that in certain specific situations it's worth more. So no doubt it makes a difference. But to overall success, I don't want to use that word, to overall well-being, right? Because success is I don't want to, that's a whole different video. To overall well-being, to overall food on the table and growth and just getting better and better every year, every decade, I honestly don't think it makes that big of a difference, right? Anything you want to add?
Right. No, that's another thing we kind of disagree. But yeah, I believe it does make a difference.
Well, no, I do too.
A huge difference.
You believe it makes a huge difference.
Right,
like,
because it makes you quick on your feet, and not only the selling point, but a lot of business decisions.
Right.
That might hold you back, or that it might take longer to achieve because it's going to take you longer to recognize.
Right, but I completely agree with that. For the record, again, I completely agree with what he's saying. The only part with that we part ways in, and let me ask you this. So we both agree that it makes a difference. I think it makes a smaller difference. You think it makes a bigger difference. Do you think it is detrimental? Do you think that my lack of everything we've talked about, right, is detrimental, that I am doomed?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you think it makes a huge difference?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think I'm doomed. I don't think I'm doomed.
No.
And if this lack of shrewdness, thinking on your feet, quick, towards business, towards transactions, towards decisions, if it means it takes me longer, so be it. Those are the cards that were dealt, right? If it means that I get to a spot in life, wherever that may be, and I can't go above, well then so be it. But again, I think that it's not, and I'm glad we both think it's not detrimental, because when there's a will, there's a way. You'll figure it out.
Right.
You know, because again, we all have things we're great at. We all have things we suck at. Unfortunately for me, I suck at a key part, but hopefully with time I get better. But anyways, wrapping this up, I just want this on the record so that if 5 years from now, 32-year-old Pepe, or 33 now, I'm turning 28 this year, but if 5 years from now, something in my brain changes and I'm like, holy shit, what an idiot. You know, like what you said yesterday, because this all started with my broski pretty much like, dude, you need to work on this. Even if you don't think it's that important, and even if you don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, you need to work on it because you trust me, right? You said that. And absolutely, I'm just being either negative about it, which is probably the case. I was going to say realistic, but realistic is another word for negative sometimes. And I'm like, fuck, like I know that doesn't come natural to me. Anywho, again, this is just on the record for future Pepe to look back at what current Pepe thought, and yeah. So yeah, I think good overall. That's pretty much the gist of it. We cut it down to like 20 minutes. Not bad. Anything you want to add?
No, I think we're good.
Oh, all right, cool. On that note, we'll end. See you later.